know his
Okay.
exact. Everyone
No, I'm
asks me
just
that all
saying,
the time.
Army,
Yeah. And then he did a lot of tours in like Afghanistan and everything. Like he was away a lot doing all that. Like sending my mom videos of himself like surrounded by bombs going off and stuff. You know,
Probably
the usual stuff.
And probably videos that you can't show as well.
Videos that I haven't seen, but I know they definitely stressed her out.
Yeah, there's some videos, and typically, and I don't know if you know this, so military can always make fun of military.
Yeah.
Like the joke I was going to say, Army's really not military, blah, 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 blah. But like somebody that's not in the military doesn't get it. And they're like, how can you know, but
my dad would say the same about Navy.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
You're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But somebody else is going to hear it. And they're like, when's the fight break out? And I'm like, if you say something about the Army, you know, you'll fight me as well. It's just that military family. What was it like, you know, growing up in a military family?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Obviously, like my parents were very supportive. I mean, I didn't really. Well, my dad wasn't like a drill sergeant or anything. Like we're good in that regard. We just, you know, I moved a lot growing up. That's why I was talking to you about how like didn't really, like. I mean, we did set roots, but also like, you know, that's why I was between England and Wales a lot growing up. And yeah, I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it. You know, my parents were super supportive, and I feel like I turned out fine.
Sure.
Somewhat fine.
Yeah,
I mean, some people want to say I'm punching people on TV.
I was going to say that you're a professional fighter. I don't know about fine. you know. Well, I mean,
I could be doing worse.
Well, no, for sure. You know, I asked, matter of fact, Macy. You know that it's fun. What you do is fun. It's fun for you. You know, as a fat, out of shape old guy, I'm like, how is that fun? But that's what you do.
I just had the same conversation with the power slap. I was like, they're crazy. And then I'm like, I'd much rather get punched and elbowed in the face.
We went to that last night.
So did I, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think? I'm sure you told them. But
it was different. It was definitely interesting. Not something I want to do. I definitely joked about the right price, but no, I don't think it's something I necessarily, I mean, having to stand there and take it is like, it's different, you know. It's like
the flinch thing.
It doesn't feel like at least in a fight, I feel like I can kind of stand up for myself. Like I don't know how I feel about having to like let someone do that to me. Right. We were laughing actually. Like I was with like Mike Millar, Uriah, and everyone, and like the main event, like when he was like stroking his face to like find his hand placement.
I know.
We were all like honestly at that point, I'd just be like, can you just slap me, please?
Right.
So we were laughing. Weird. We were like, honestly, we would be more uncomfortable with that than actually like getting hit.
Sure. No.
So that was funny.
I talked to Dana a little bit about it last night, and it's like the very beginning of what the UFC was. You know, and a lot of people, and this is one of my numerous pet peeves. I've talked to people back in the day. I hate MMA. The UFC, it's cockfighting, it's this. And I'm just curious. And these are some big media people. Have you seen it? And they're like, no. How can you hate it until you've seen it? How can you hate power slap? And I have my opinion, and I'll give it to you if you want. But until you go and see it and experience, and you know, so that's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's definitely like interesting. It's each to their own. I mean, at the end of the day, it's another thing. I always say that everyone hates on certain things, and I'm like, well, no one makes you watch it. No one makes you do it. Like, if it's not for you, cool, leave it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not for me. I'm not gonna go do it. But like, they seem to enjoy it. They're getting paid. Why not?
What got you into MMA?
Honestly, it was just a hobby. Like I was one of those, like, let's say, like my parents were active. They were very big on like, you need to stay active. So I did a lot of sports growing up. I actually joked about it over there. Like Uriah once called me naturally ungifted, and like I've just taken that on. I've just completely embraced it and owned it. And fighting was the one thing that I kind of took to, and I actually enjoyed doing. So I just kind of rode the wave and kept doing it, and I never looked back, really.
How did your parents take that first fight? And, you know, everybody says, and I talked about this the other day, you know, we say these things, I would do this. You know, I would take a bullet for somebody. Would you really? You know, I'm okay with my daughter fighting. Are you really? So I'm curious. They were supportive, but then that first fight where you get punched.
I think it was easier in the early days, which sounds weird, but I feel like now there feels like there's more like repercussions and more pressure, and I feel like it's a little bit harder. Like I remember my mom said, like when I had my contenders fight, like she was nervous, and like she was just and like she'd never been like that. But I also think it has a difference. Like I trained with my mom growing up, so I trained with her, and then like so I feel like being on the mats with her, it gives you that reassurance. Like I cornered her in all of her fights, so like I mean, people look at me like I'm an a-hole, but like I'm like I never was nervous for my mom's fight because I cornered her. So like I was involved. I felt like I had some sort of like input, so it kind of like takes the strain off of it. And then like the second you're in the stands, you're like, oh, I can't help them. Like, and I feel like once I hit the bigger stage, it was a little bit like, oh, this is everything she has ever hoped of, dreamt of. And then it just, all of a sudden, it just like has a bigger I don't know, it just has more
Sure.
emotion around it.
Sure.
So I feel like
Makes
it was actually easier in the early days when I was just a kid going out there having fun, just like doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
But like now it's like every fight matters. I'm not that it didn't before, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm in the public eye.
Sure.
Like I'm gonna get hate whether I win or lose. Like everybody's watching. Everybody wants you to fail. Everybody's like, and like at the end of the day, like I feel like a loss now is like it just hits so much harder because it's like you worked so hard to get here, and now everything you've ever dreamt of has come true, and it's like you don't want to ruin that.
Right.
You know, there's more repercussions.
Do you watch? Have you watched any of this season of The Ultimate Fighter?
I actually haven't.
You know, which is one team is former UFC fighters. You know, and every single one of them has said, you know, I busted my butt to get to the UFC, and then I kind of took it for granted. You know, and once you're there, you know, it's like I'm already here, and you're already saying, like, you know, it's more important now.
Complacency is like the biggest killer of prospects, and at the end of the day, like once you get to the UFC, that's when your journey starts, and that's what everyone forgets. Like everyone's like, I want to get in the UFC, I want to get in the UFC, and then when they get there, they're like, oh, cool, I made it. But you didn't make it. Like, how many people are on the roster? Like, and I was talking about this the other day. It's like I haven't fought for a few months, and it's like I'm irrelevant now. Like I'm aware of it. Like I'm like, there's so many people fighting to where you have to stay relevant. You have to keep working, and that's why like if you fall off, you're just gonna get replaced. Like this sport it's ruthless. Like there's always someone else that wants.
The world is ruthless.
The world is ruthless.
Yeah, it's not just the sport. It's all sports. It is exactly that. I jumped on your Wikipedia and I tried to talk other things. Tell me about your art.
I mean, I actually haven't been able to do much of it lately. I've just been so busy doing other things. But no, I love to paint. You know, I was doing commissions for a little bit, but I'm one of those people that totally undersells myself, and I was just taking a loss on everything.
Right.
So I just started going back to doing like it's definitely something that I try to prioritize as like my little break to get me away from everything, because it's like 24 hours a day MMA. Like I literally live it. Like I this sport has just completely consumed me, and I just kind of started picking back up like with my painting. So I hadn't done it since I was a kid, and over the last couple of years I just really started trying to do a little bit just to give me like an outlet. And no, I mean I enjoy it. I don't know, I don't like to say too much because I
want to go look at it after we talk.
I have a page, you can go follow me.
What is it?
Poppins Paintings.
Right. Oh, you have the other Poppins Paintings. Poppins Paintings. Okay. What do you like to paint? Is there any particular thing?
Anything. It's
really?
I did honestly. My favorite piece was someone requested, and it was giant. Like the canvas was bigger than me, which is probably why I took a loss on it, because shipping that stuff, not good. Oh, sorry. But there's my own glasses. But I'm sorry. But no, I did.
Ready to elbow her glasses.
I did a Monopoly Man triangling someone, because this guy collected Monopoly stuff, and he messaged me and he's like, hey, can you do like a Monopoly guy doing jiu-jitsu? And I was like, that's interesting. Yes. And I was really proud of how it turned out. And then I also did like a collage. This was actually after my debut, because I had broke my ankle, so I wasn't really able to train much. So I did this collage for a guy, and it was ever heard of the TV show BoJack Horseman? It was that anyway, and like I didn't really watch much of it, but like I was really proud of how that turned out too. But honestly, anything like I say, I've done some, like I've got on my walls, I painted like some Jordans with like with like some paint dripping and stuff, and that was quite popular.
We need to get one for our studio, so we'll
talk.
Definitely. You know, when you have time, we'll put it in the studio and all that kind of stuff. What do you collect? Is there things you collect, whether it's memorabilia, whether it's other paintings? Dollar bills?
No, I honestly, I'm a very like sentimental person. So in terms of like actually like collecting stuff, I'm not really big on that. But like if something has meaning to me, so you know, I have all my fight gloves, I have all my fight shorts. You know, I keep like that, like the stuff that like has meaning behind it. Yeah, like I'm just a sentimental person. So that's kind of the stuff that I.
Is there something that you'd like to acquire? Of anything, it could be anything.
I mean, a UFC belt would be nice.
Good one. The second best answer. That's the second best answer.
Whose was the best?
So we do mainstream sports. I still consider this not mainstream. That shows you how far back I go, right? So I was interviewing an NFL football player, and he said the same thing. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I don't collect anything. And I said, no, you have to pick something. What? Because, you know, I have a lot of friends in low places, and I've been able to acquire stuff that people have said, you know, hey, I'd like this or that. He goes, all right, let me think. Jesus Christ sandals.
Unique. I like it.
Unique, and it's probably worth, I don't know, $412 billion or
How much money's in the world?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And duplicate it. So, it's kind of funny. What's next for you? When would you like to get back in?
I'd like to get in towards the end of the fall. I just got back to training recently. I had a lot of like health complications and stuff, which is why I had the layoff, which I would not have done. Like everyone's like, don't talk about it, and I'm like, no, I don't want people to think I'm lazy. Like I would have loved to fight during this time, but I'm back. I'm training as hard as I can, working my butt off to close some gaps, and I would love to get in towards the end of the fall or whenever the UFC deem fit for me. I'm just grateful for anything they give me at this point.
What do you think about some of the questions? People have always asked me, how come you don't ask questions, which I try not to do. I only do it here on the show because the questions are, A, what I want to ask, I can't ask. What I want to ask a lot of times.
Why can't you ask it?
Well, it's like some of the ridiculous ones. How's training going? See? And you rolled your eyes when I said it. That's what I'm saying. Because you're not going to say, well, I tweaked my left ankle. So why does anybody ever ask that question?
All the ones that we have a generic answer to in our back pocket,
Exactly.
And everyone gets to say. That's honestly like before a fight, I'm always like, ugh. Like I love interviewing with people, but like because I like talking with people and I like giving people time and it's cool.
Right.
But sometimes it is like I remember I had like 3 interviews back to back and they all asked the same 5 questions and I was kind of like, come on, you can do better.
I'm going to take it one step further for you. And I don't know if you've thought of this. So we have the media day on Wednesday, right? And we interview and we talk and whatever. And then what happens Thursday? It's the press conference.
Yeah.
It's the same person asking the same question to the same athletes.
Most of the stuff you can find on Google anyway.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, when was your last fight? Oh, like yeah.
How do you feel? You just won the fight. How do you feel? I really wish I lost. I'm saying.
I hate before the fight. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I start getting to the point where I just be like, no, I'm not.
Have you said that? Because I want somebody to do that.
I have.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I've done it in the UFC yet. I remember my friend drove like 4.5 hours to come and watch me fight, and he got there and he went, "Are you ready?" And I looked at him and I went, "Nah, I'm not feeling it today." And he was so upset because I didn't tell him for like an hour that I was messing with him, and
Right.
all the time he's like, "Come on," he's like, "You gotta get ready," and I'm like, "Nah, I might just throw this one, easy payday." And he was getting so upset with me, but I was like, "You fight." I'm like, it's dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "You deserve this."
I think you're now my favorite fighter because I've
Oh, thank
always wanted somebody to do that. It's like, and not say, that is the stupidest question I've ever heard. Just answer it totally wrong.
Or even better, is I remember talking to my boxing coach, and we would go to like we both had it. We'd be in the grocery store. People would be like, "Shouldn't you be in the gym?" And I'm like, "I have to eat. I have to sleep." Like everyone just seems to think that I do basically live in the gym, but it's like it's just stuff like that. I'm just like I do have an internal eye roll, and I'm just like.
Are you a foodie? Do you do food stuff? Do you watch the Food Channel? All you fighters, and it still drives me
love to
crazy.
cook.
You watch the Food Network Fight Week.
Instagram is a dangerous place on fight week. Instagram's my go-to because all the food blogs, and like I say, I'm a feeder, so I'm a foodie, but like I'm a feeder. Like I'm kind of like the mother of the house.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm cutting weight, I think that my friends, my family, like I'm baking for them, I'm cooking for them. Like
That's awesome.
I'm a feeder, so I live vicariously through people.
Do you ever get to Florida at all?
Florida?
Yeah.
I went out there when I was like 16, but I haven't been since.
Well, we're based out of Florida. We need to get you down there. We'll take you fishing. Have you fished before?
I haven't.
We'll take you, whether it's deep sea or we can go inshore. I can take you to the lakes at Walt Disney World. Not many people get to fish there.
I would love that.
So if we can organize something, my co-host owns a pizzeria. We'll do some pizza stuff. We could have some fun there.
I have this on camera, and I'm going to take your number afterwards.
Absolutely.
And you have to do this with me.
We will definitely do that.
Okay, I would
All
love
right,
that.
we're going to go hit a break, Corey. Thank you very much for your time. You are my new favorite fighter.
Oh, thank you. It was really nice catching up with you. I would actually love that. That better not be a joke.
No, not at all.